The new era. 2025 ushers in the era of longevity escape velocity. Breakthroughs in cancer, dementia, and aging are presently moving faster than the diseases themselves. This is not science fiction. It is not someday. It is right now. The discoveries of this year are not just about surviving longer. They are about extending longevity itself, about living better, longer, changing the rules of the game, shifting the odds in your favor before disease takes hold. And at the heart of it all are the cellular engines you have never been told to protect. Because when those engines fail, cancer does not just appear, it thrives. We all learned in middle school that mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cell. Cute line. Also outdated. Mitochondria don't just make energy. They decide whether your cells survive, divide, repair themselves, or self-destruct. They direct your immune system. They flip genetic switches in real time. Then came the head turner. Mitochondrial-derived peptides. Tiny fragments of protein are created inside your cellular engines. They are messengers that decide whether your cells adapt to stress or collapse under it. One of them, humanin, shields neurons under pressure. Another, MOTSC, enters the nucleus and flips genetic switches that control survival. These peptides prove mitochondria don't just make energy. They send instructions, they program resilience, and when those signals fail, disease takes over. What this year has already revealed, this year's research did not whisper, it roared. Clinical studies have linked mitochondrial decline to immune collapse, runaway inflammation, and cognitive breakdown, from brain fog to neurodegeneration. The most chilling discovery, breast cancer cells siphoning mitochondria from neurons to fuel their own spread. And yet most people will never hear this. Not because the science is weak, but because it threatens the food and pharmaceutical advertisers that support them. At Temple University, researchers identified a mitochondrial regulator that shields cells from calcium overload, a trigger for Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's isn't just memory loss, it's the slow unraveling of a person's very being. Today, more than 6 million Americans live with it. By 2050, that number could nearly triple. 1 in 3 seniors dies with Alzheimer's or another dementia. Scientists uncovered the molecular switches that decide whether our cellular engines hold steady or collapse with age. And across cancer metabolism labs worldwide, tumors are being caught hijacking glutamine and spinning it into alpha-ketoglutarate, which is rocket fuel for their growth. The defense stack and blueprint. So how do we fight back? With the mitochondrial defense stack, repair engines, NMN, fisetin, spermidine, collagen. Think of your mitochondria as booster engines. They don't just churn out energy. They also release mitochondrial-derived peptides that act as repair signals, protecting cells from stress, improving metabolism, and keeping those engines firing cleanly as you age. Humanin protects neurons, reduces oxidative stress, and helps keep cells alive under pressure. MOTSC, on the other hand, improves how muscles use energy and boosts resilience against metabolic stress. Together, they show us that mitochondria aren't just engines. They're also sending out survival signals that shape how we age. These naturally derived peptides are becoming available today as exogenous experimental injections, though hard to access and still largely untested in humans. That scarcity underscores how new this field is. Protector engines, CAKG and TMG. Each of them either repairs, boosts, or shields your mitochondria from collapse. The cancer survival blueprint looks like this. Cut the fuel. Starve cancer of glucose and glutamine. Your mitochondria are the engines that keep every cell alive. To protect them, you need the fundamentals. Consistent exercise keeps your metabolism active, protects muscle mass, and improves insulin sensitivity, all of which are critical defenses against aging and chronic disease. One of the most effective ways to extend longevity is through supportive compounds. Proven molecules like NMN, CoQ10, and calcium alpha-ketoglutarate help your mitochondria produce clean energy while reducing cellular damage. Together, these keep your engines producing clean energy while reducing cellular damage. Your immune system is your standing army. To keep it sharp, it needs the right fuel. It thrives on anti-inflammatory nutrition. It does not thrive on over-processed foods, refined carbs, and sugar. Healthy cells burn oxygen for energy. But when sugar floods the system, cancer cells are rewired to favor it, fermenting glucose instead of oxygen. And that's when cancer cells proliferate. That was Otto Warburg's breakthrough nearly a century ago. It should have changed how we think about cancer, but in the past, the field chased genetics, radiation, and chemotherapy instead of focusing on metabolism and nutrition to prevent it. Strangely, it was a geneticist, Professor Thomas Seyfried of Boston College, who recently revived Warburg's insights, arguing cancer is rooted in metabolic failure, not just genetic mutations. His research shows ketogenic diets and metabolic therapies can cut off cancer's preferred fuel, sugar and glutamine, while providing ketones as an alternative energy for healthy cells. If metabolism sits at the heart of both disease and longevity, then supporting it with the right compounds isn't just smart, it may be essential. So how do we fight back? With the mitochondrial defense stack, repair engines, NMN, fisetin, spermidine, collagen. Booster engines, peptides like MOTS-C and humanin. Consistent restorative sleep isn't just downtime, it's repair time. 7 to 8 hours let your mitochondria reset, your brain detoxify, and your muscles quietly rebuild. Practice intermittent fasting in daily windows of 12 to 16 hours. Those fasting periods reset metabolic pathways, improve how your body uses energy, and strengthen defenses against disease. When you practice these strategies, your thoughts stay clear instead of clouded. Your body recovers instead of breaking down. That is the essence of longevity. Living better, longer. Over time, those small wins stack into the real prize. Years that feel sharper, stronger, and younger than your chronological age. You were not meant to fade. You were built to live with energy, clarity, and strength. Cutting cancer's fuel is not the end of the story, because deep inside your cells, hidden in the very engines that keep you alive, are survival codes older than humanity itself. Peptides with names like humanin and MOTS-C signals your mitochondria release under stress, designed to protect, adapt, and extend life. Doctors are rarely trained to tell you how to protect them, yet these engines decide whether you stay healthy or spiral into disease. The question is, can we learn to harness them? Because if cancer is the disease of failed engines, then the next chapter may be the discovery that those same engines hold the keys to longevity escape velocity. Here's my ranked stack for longevity and cancer protection. Number 1, NMN. Nicotinamide mononucleotide is a direct precursor to NAD+, the molecule your body uses for energy, repair, and resilience. Harvard's Dr. David Sinclair helped put NMN on the map, showing how boosting NAD+ can slow aging in animal models. Research shows NMN improves insulin sensitivity, enhances mitochondrial metabolism, slows cognitive decline in Alzheimer's models, and lowers inflammation tied to aging. Older animals are especially responsive, meaning NMN may matter most when you need it most. Number 2, sulforaphane. Identified and studied at Johns Hopkins University, sulforaphane is derived from broccoli sprouts. Research suggests it may slow tumor growth, block metastasis, and enhance the effects of chemotherapy and radiation. It also activates your body's detox systems, protects DNA, and supports metabolic health. Sulfura Boost delivers sulforaphane while minimizing the oxalate load you would get from raw cruciferous vegetables. Number 3, TMG, trimethylglycine fuels methylation, the biochemical process that powers energy, protects the liver by donating methyl groups that reduce homocysteine and supporting fat metabolism, which helps prevent fatty liver and oxidative stress, and lowers homocysteine for heart health. By keeping metabolism running cleanly, it supports both longevity and disease defense. Number 4, creatine, not just for athletes. Creatine supports mitochondrial energy, muscle strength, and brain performance. With 5 grams per day, I personally saw my bone density rebound from near osteoporosis into the normal range, something my doctor called rare. It improved my cognition, stabilized my mood, and increased my energy. At the Yang Lab at UCLA, creatine was shown to power CD8 killer T cells, strengthening the immune system's ability to fight. Number 5, CERT6. Activator, SIRT6, is a longevity gene that acts as a tumor suppressor by shutting down cancer's preferred fuel sources, like glycolysis and ribosome biogenesis, while boosting clean energy production. The problem is that SIRT6 is downregulated in many cancers, and that loss helps cancer grow. Activating SIRT6 reverses that, restoring metabolic balance, protecting DNA, and extending lifespan in animal studies by up to 30%. The only direct SIRT6 activator currently available is from donotage.org, and you can use the discount code LongevityCode for 10% off. The link is in the description. The future of longevity is not built on hacks. It is built on clinically proven stacks that extend not just how long you live, but how young you feel.